Hi guys, Ross from Studio 69 here. I just wanted to upload a quick tutorial video for the new game Trioarch, which is featured within Initiation. One point I will mention is the rules are slightly different to those that you'll play in the video game, hence the tutorial. So when your package arrives, it'll look like that. Okay, and keep in mind this is the prototype version, so there are a few differences. Here's the rule guide here, which will be larger in the main version. You've got several yellow and red counters there, and also a D10, which we'll use later on. This version comes with 23 cards, which is the same amount of cards that will be in the light version. Okay, so the light version will be a much smaller box, allowing you to save on the shipping, basically. You won't get the battle board with the light version, only the deluxe version. So, in order to play, it's usually played between two people. First of all, somebody needs to place up to 3 blocker cards on the grid. I'm just going to place one in the centre for now. And then you deal 5 cards to each player. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so each of your cards has up to 8 directions of attack. You can defend from any direction, however, if there isn't an arrow in that direction, you will lose 1 point of defense during that conflict. The attack stats range from A to E, A being highest, E being lowest, and the defense stats, the number there, range from 1 being the lowest to 5 being the highest. So ideally, with it being the first turn, I want to play a high defense card, which it seems like I have quite a few here. So obviously I want to cover any negative, any areas that I can't defend very well from. So I'm going to place this card there, because nobody can attack from that section because there's a blocker card in the way. Okay, and in order to claim ownership, I'll place a red gem on there. So now it's the second player's turn. Now because it's their first go and they'll be open to attack, ideally they'll want to play a card with a balance between attack and defense, so they can claim ownership of that card whilst retaining ownership of their own card during the next turn. So I'm going to place this card here. That's a B4. Both of the arrows are pointed to one another, so the attack and defense stats stay as they are right now. So we look on the table for B against 5. In order to win that conflict, I need to roll a 7 or a higher. So I take my D10, roll it at 3, I lose. So this being player 2 retains ownership of the card. However, with the boxed edition, there's such a thing as called backlash. So because I failed that attack, now I need to roll again. If I get a 4 or a lower, I actually lose ownership of the card that just attacked. So 8, so I get to keep ownership of the card, so obviously we're at a stalemate at the moment. Then it's back to the red player's go. And I'm going to play this card down here in the centre. Now cards can attack in the directions of the arrows, but they don't have a limited number of attacks per turn, so I can attack this card and this card if they were both owned by the other player. Being the red player, I only need to attack this card here. So attack a C against 4 defense. C4, again I need to roll a 7 or higher in order to claim ownership of that card, and it's a 6, so I just keep ownership. So it's now the yellow player's go. And the yellow player is going to play that one up there. Games are typically played on a 3x3 grid system like we're playing now. However, there are different kinds of rules, such as the endurance and the progressive and team progressive, which you'll see in the rulebooks when you get your copies. So we've got attack B against 5 defense. Again, we've got adjoining arrows, so there's no stat changes there. And B against 5, 7 or higher again. So I roll, it's an 8, so the yellow player takes ownership of both of those cards. Sorry, this is a little shaky. Okay. So again, you play backwards and forwards like that until each player has played 3 cards. And then you do a tally. Whoever has won, whoever owns the most cards wins that hand, and just places a gem in their wins section down there. You probably can't see that particularly well. Place a win section down there. The first player to win 3 hands wins the game. Okay, now if everybody's played 3 cards, I would like to mention, there we go, there's 3 cards each on the board there. Let's say that's owned by red, and that's owned by yellow. Whoever loses the game gets to pick 3 cards. So rather than having to remember which cards you actually played, you get to pick 3 cards on the board that have any ownership, basically, whether they're red or yellow. If it's a draw, then whoever played the last card, whoever played the final card, they get to pick their 3 cards first, and then whichever 3 are left over go to the other player. Now, because you draw 5 cards at the start of the hand, you've still got 2 cards left over, so it's another strategic element to it that you do have to keep an eye on. So that's the basic play of how you play Trioarch. It's not terribly complicated, however there are strategic elements to it, such as trying to keep hold of certain cards, playing the right cards at the right time. It's a numbers game, so you know, you're playing statistics at the end of the day. So if you're good at poker, you're probably good at this. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope you have fun. Bye now.